Alright guys, so I'm going to make this little video here to try to explain about this rock that was gifted to us by Sasquatch. And in order for you guys to understand this, you're going to need to know some backstory. So where I come from, there's the First Nations people, the Sta'alis First Nations. That is where the word Sasquatch originates from. Now, their creation story goes like this. There's the Halls, and he got in a battle with the doctor or the shaman. The doctor or the shaman was turned into stone and broken into 7 pieces. One of those pieces of stone landed in Harrison Lake, where the Sta'alis people originated from. Now, the main thing in their culture is Sasquatch. That is their thing. That is where the word comes from. Now, my brother and our buddy Ken, who had a Sasquatch encounter when he was about 13 or 14, they went out to put trail cameras up. They walked down this dry riverbed. They passed this log. It had 5 rocks on it. They didn't think anything of it. They went by, they put trail cameras up. They found some really cool structures and like tree break stuff. Possible tracks, all good. They start walking back out. They pass that log and they decide to stop there and have a smoke, little puff. Now, my brother noticed these carvings on one of the rocks, so they took pictures of it. They came home. They showed me the pictures, and right away I'm like, "Why didn't you guys grab that rock? It's definitely something." And they're like, "Oh, it's just a rock. It's just a rock." No, right? So I talked to my buddy on the Sta'alis reservation, and he says, yes, that is a symbol we've been using for thousands of years, the Halls. Now, since I figured that out, I'm like, I gotta go back out and get this rock, right? 2 days later, I go back out to the log. I get out there by myself. I get to the log. Where there was 5 rocks on the log, there's only 2 rocks now. And a giant stick leaning against, like a staff, leaning against the log. These are the rocks and the stick right here. So this is the marking, the Halls, okay? This is a woman. And that was a man at one point. So we have man and woman and the Halls. That is literally the story of creation for the Sta'alis people. So this rock was one of the 2 rocks left on the log. And this 6-foot staff-like stick was leaning against the log as well. So in 2 days, things had changed. There was only 2 rocks on the log and a new stick now. So right away I knew something like, okay, this is cool. Stuff has changed, right? All good. The rock and the stick come home with me. Me and Seekers, Sasquatch Seekers, my buddy, we go out to the Chehalis River to fish 1 week later. Now, where we're fishing, there's downriver about 200 yards, 300 yards. There's a dry riverbed that goes out of the river. That is the direction where this rock was found. We're standing there fishing, and Sasquatch comes walking out from that direction, covers like 200 yards in 10 seconds, crossing a river in those 10 seconds with a stick in its hand, just like the stick that was given to us. 10 minutes later, we found baby Sasquatch footprints. We're literally where they have their children. You know, it was an amazing day, really. Like, people have bad encounters with these beings. Like, I've never had one, not a bad one. But there are things out there. There are negative energies for sure. But basically, that's the story here with the rock and having a visual Sasquatch encounter. It was about, I'd say anywhere from about 7 to 9 feet tall, covered head to toe in brown hair. When it was moving, it was taking the biggest steps I've ever seen anybody take. Huge. The space between its legs was so big. That's what got my attention. Like, holy, you know? Plus, I know, like, I'm connected to the Sasquatch on another level, right? Different stuff. But I'll end it there. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of knowledge. Alright guys, I forgot to show you guys the baby Sasquatch footprint. This is it. I made a casting of it. It fell apart. It was only an hour old and it just fell apart. But this thing was 7 inches wide and 7 inches long. The weirdest little looking foot I've ever seen. This is why we tried to cast it. But I forgot to show you guys that in this video, so that's that.